living wills. And so I was like, well, then I'm still here. And so that's where I got so angry with everything. I'm hearing doctors, oh, you have this long to live. Oh, you do this. I said, you be God.
Hey.
I went to my friend. She was getting a tattoo. I was just sitting there thinking. Before I stepped out, I was like, I want it. He's like, you want to do what? He said, you know that's kind of public. I said, that's all right. Let people judge whatever they want to judge. Let people come up with their own story. But until they ask me, then I'll tell them.
Yes.
So, unbeknownst, that's why I got my Born Fighter with the boxing gloves. Doesn't have to do with my boxing history. It's because I've been fighting my entire life.
Yeah.
And my dad always said, you are special. You were born to fight. Well, it doesn't stop there. I get it. You know, in your vulnerable state, you're looking for that closure. You're looking for that closeness.
Yeah.
So I started dating a guy who I thought was just my world. That first year and a half, nobody could tell us we were ever going to split. That last year, he graduated school, came back to the same city, and turned into this abusive thing. It got to the point he knew I was sick with lupus. I was suffering from it. He was like, take your pills and do this. It will shove it down my throat. He shoved me into the back, and my herniations got worse. So I had to have emergency surgery 2009, May 22nd. And it got to a point, I said, enough is enough. I'm walking out. He said, where are you walking to? I said, going out. He was a security guard with a Guard 3 commission card. He got his brand new Smith & Wesson he was so proud of, loaded the magazine, put it in my mouth, pulled the trigger. Bullet got stuck in the chamber. He went outside, shot the ground, put it back in, and came back. Put it in my mouth again. He said, you will die tonight. And I stood there. I said, do you scare me? He pulled the trigger again. Bullet got stuck in the chamber. And I said, Satan, it is not for you to kill me. So he was upset. I had my surgery. I was staying at my father's house. And all this time, thank the Lord I had the reverend to talk to through everything. So I probably would be crazy in my head by now. And good thing I knew to run to the church instead of anywhere else. So when I had my surgery, I wasn't supposed to leave the house. But I wanted to leave. I said I had to. So I get in my car, and he's sitting here like, I'm going to tear up your apartment. I'm going to do this. I was like, oh, Lord, the little I have, let me go save it. I don't know if I ripped my stitches or what I did. I was going to get in his car, go, and make sure everything was all right. To this day, I don't know how he got in my place. He doesn't have a key. So it's a mystery. He stood there. He was hollering, bloodshot eyes red. And he takes my phone, my keys, throws it over the balcony. I said, okay, I can go get it. My legs aren't broke. So I went downstairs to get it. All of a sudden I'm hearing, and I turn. This man jumps the curb. And when I turn, his car whizzes right past me. He wanted to run me over. His name is Royce Harris. If you look him up at the RMTPD, you'll see him. 12 domestic calls on my behalf. 2 investigators. And he actually he had a girlfriend after me who he moved her and exited away from me to keep an eye on me. She found out about why she was really moving and tried to leave. He got a knife and tried to stab her. So now he's in jail for 45 years for attempted murder. And so I was just like, okay, all right, time to keep on moving, right?
Yes.
And all this time, for those who have Nigerian parents know, you're not going to tell them nothing. I like, Jesus, I talk to the reverend. I don't need to talk to them. I don't need to talk to them. So I went through my journey, being used by guys, being treated bad. I was just like, you know what? Let me live for me. And so I ended up this year, at the beginning of this year, getting rebaptized. Amen. And it's not reclaiming my life with God, it's letting go of what I've been through. Because I wasn't going to claim it anymore. I say, you know what? It's my past. But let me tell you how Satan continues to see that you're trying. Because right after I had that, I was in a car wreck. God was texting on his phone, ran that red light, hit my door. The paramedics came, didn't even know how I was able to talk to them. Just ripped the whole side off. Wow. I was only left with a partial dislocation and bruises. Wow. Taken to Arlington Memorial Hospital. And you know what? I always pray that, God, let me have a car that'll get me through the school year. You know, I'm going to grad school. Let me get a car. Hey, I didn't expect my Chrysler 200. That's okay. I'm driving. So I got my nicer car. I'm happy. We're still doing the legal issues. Bernard Webble, he's a good attorney. I need to call him. So, and the good thing I'm able to laugh about it now, because before, you know, I was doing alcohol, I started smoking Black Mouth, I was partying all the time because I was angry. Right. Angry at the world. And after I did my rebaptism, the dreaded day came. I said, Reverend, I'm ready to tell my dad. He said, yo, what? Hold on. Let's pray before you say anything else. I said, no, I'm ready to tell my father. I think it's time. My last chapter. So, Father came, the Reverend said, okay. I said, what your daughter's about to tell you, you're going to be pissed. But I want you to let her finish before you open your mouth. So, I sat there. I looked my dad in the eye, and I told him everything. And he gritted his teeth, eyes red, and he put his head down. And he surprised me. He looked up, he said, are you okay? I said, yes. He said, okay, nothing else to talk about. If you're fine, I'm fine. He said, we won't say anything else. Until this day, he hasn't even brought anything back up. He left it for where it was. My mom, I'm still waiting for her to be ready because the Lord's telling me she's not ready to be back. So I'm still ready for her. And the last part of my story, I know I've rambled a lot, but the last part is I thought that was over. I was even afraid to tell Jonah this summer that when I told her, I probably startled the phone out of her hands. A male friend of mine, we weren't really dating or talking, we were just cool or whatever. We went to a party that a friend of mine was hosting. I don't ever get drunk or anything because I always want to be the designated driver. I trust me to get me home. And whoever's riding with me, you're going to get home too. And so my other friend even thinks he was putting stuff in my drink because he was so eager. Oh, let me get you a drink. Let me get you a drink. And to me, I was like, oh, this tastes like Kool-Aid. It's like cranberry juice. So I get home and I know something isn't right. He calls me and was like, can I just crash? You know I live far. I just want to crash here. I said, yes. I said, that's fine, but in the morning you have to go. He was on the couch, on the bed. Before I know it, things didn't feel right. I didn't know what all that happened until later. I started, because my periods are irregular because of my illness and my medications I take. But I was like, this one doesn't feel right. I found out I was 7 weeks pregnant. And then I called him over there and I said, see these tests, what happened? He laughed. The most evil joker laugh I ever heard. He said, okay, now we be married, we can have family. I said, what? Come again. I said, you know about my accident? You know I'm in grad school trying to finish. You know everything that's going on. Why? Did I tell you I was ready? I said, I'm 27 without children for a reason. Not by accident. On purpose. I think the only blessing out of all that was I found out I can have kids after being told I can't. Wow. And so I sat there and I was like, this doesn't feel right. I had to pray. And then all of a sudden my lupus started reacting. It got to a point I called the doctor. The doctor was like, you need to make a decision. Either you're going to start taking this medication, do what you can to save this child, or you're going to have to let the child go. You're killing yourself. Literally. And I mean, my iron went down, everything went down. Medications weren't working. I was shaking. I couldn't function. I couldn't move. So I called him one day. I said, I think I'm going to have to let this child go. That's when he got angry and started confessing everything he did. I waited till you passed out. Then I got on top of you and did this. I put on condom. Then I decided, condom what? And so I cut it with scissors because I knew you were going to be my wife. And so at 8 weeks and a day, my cousin, unbeknownst to myself, I cried the entire time I had an abortion. It was killing me. I was like, something so beautiful is killing me. Killing me, killing me, killing me. And I said, you know what? Forget all the judgment. I don't care. People can say what they want to say. They don't know me. Speak. And so that's when I ended up getting tattoo number 3 right here. I have 2 on the back that says Colucci, if y'all know what that means. God's Christians gift. This one says, the mind is like an empty pot. Whatever you put in it, expect to get out. Yes. And so through all my journeys from engineer to nursing, going through everything I had to, I was mentoring. I'm a big sister, been for 9 years. I'm still doing stuff. No matter what was going on, I was still going because God had me, and that's all that mattered.